do we get from the mindset to you actually doing what you need to do in order to build longevity in this business? And that's what we're going to be talking about right now today. But I want to first off ask each and every one of you, and Ron has the mic and we're going to pass it around if you want to say something. The question is, in real estate investing, what does financial independence mean to you? And I want any one of you who want to say what it means to you, grab that mic, starting with you, Ron. What does financial independence mean to you?
I've spoken to this many times. I married my wife, my best friend, because I want to spend time with her.
Right.
I don't want to go to a job every day and leave her home or her head to her job. We want to be together every single day. We want to be able to work together, be able to enjoy life together. We want to be able to take our business and go wherever we want, travel wherever we want, spend time with our kids, take our kids with us, and be able to know that tomorrow's just going to happen. And we're not going to have to be a slave to somebody else
Right.
to improve their way of life. We want to do it for ourselves and improve our way of life. So that's financial freedom.
Freedom to do. Anyone else? What's your definition of financial independence?
Essentially means having greater control of what I do on a day-to-day basis. And that's pretty much what that means to me.
Right.
Being able to control when I go, how I go, and not being under somebody else's supervision constantly. Watching over.
So the ability to say when and when you want to.
Right, exactly.
Freedom to me means writing my own self-worth.
Got it.
Creating my own life.
Right. So, in a nutshell, it's controlling your own destiny.
Yeah.
You know, is anybody who loves doing that on the board? You know,
Anybody? Sure, absolutely.
anybody want to be a scribe and write on the board and write really nice and dark?
What you trying to say, Nate? What you trying to say, Cliff?
That's like Charles. So that he can be more actively involved than anyone who does it. There's usually somebody.
Okay.
Like,
There we go.
with that.
There we go.
Hey, what's your name?
Yeah.
Let's give Jim a hand, folks.
Thank you, Jim. Anyone else?
My story is somewhat similar to Charles, and I come from Baltimore. I am the only graduate of college on my father's side. It means generational wealth. I want to be able to provide my kids as well as my entire family a path to actually join them and not having to work for anyone else. Right now, I'm still trying to build up mine, so I cannot, give them what I know I can give them in the future, but that is something that I'm building now to be able to provide to them in the future.
Generational wealth. There you go. Love it. Anyone else? Financial freedom, financial independence. What do it mean to you?
Basically, for me, peace of mind.
There you go.
I mean, you don't have to worry about going to a job. You don't have to worry about money coming in. You don't have to worry about, can I pay for this, can I pay for that? So, peace of mind, I can see.
Well, that's basically what I was going to say. Living check to check. That's you trying to get to the front. It's basically living check from check. When something needs to get done, you have, the money to be able to do it.
So the ability not to live check to check, to paycheck to paycheck. Got it. Anyone else? Tamara.
Financial freedom to me means the ability to get employed every month. Travel when I want to. And the main thing is to give back, to help others.
There you go.
It brings a lot of others is the main objective, not just my family, but others.
The ability to give back whenever. Anyone else? Okay, go ahead, Keith.
I don't important. It's about having paying forward.
Got it. And you just said it right on the key word, generational wealth. Or should I say generational opportunity? One more person. Anyone?
Financial freedom means to me having my residual income supersede my expenses.
There you go. And the point, and the reason why I wanted this marked up on the board and written up here is because it means something different for each and every one of us. But it still takes us that finish line. It takes us to where we believe it should take us. So in real estate, you have the opportunity to create whatever financial freedom or financial independence mean to you. But it's going to start with understanding you, understanding your mindset and your ability to achieve the goals that you want to set forth. In this business, the minute you start talking about, I want to be a real estate investor, you're going to have so much blowback. I'm talking about family, friends, and those you call relations. They're going to be the ones that say, what? 9th grade dropout, you can't be a real estate investor. Now those are the ones that say, can you help me pay my car payment? So you're going to have the ones that will be the naysayers in your life. But you have to figure out, how do I get past that point? Because that's going to be your biggest hurdle as a new beginner investor. It's going to be your close-knit circle who don't believe in your dream. Why? Because they have no benefit in your dream. Your dream is yours. And we often want to knock down that dream that we don't know how to achieve. I'll give you an example. In real estate, you have agents that, I have just a lot. How many agents in the room right now? And I'm not knocking your industry, but I hear this from a whole boatload of agents. You can't do that. That's not legal. Well, it's not that I can't do it. It's just that the easiest thing to do when you don't understand something is to knock it down and say it doesn't exist or it doesn't work. Just like marketing. You don't know how many times I've heard people say, and this is mostly from what I like to call the old school investors. Getting leads online don't work. You can't get leads online. Well, let me give you an example of one person who I work with who get leads online. Brittany Bowling. Brittany's averaging $30,000 a month in the last 3 months, all from her website, wholesaling deals. $30,000 a month the last 3 months in a row, just from her website. Brad from Express Home Buyers. And I talked to him probably a good 3 weeks ago. His marketing budget online right now for marketing is $6,000 a month. Brad is closing between 6 and 8 deals a month from online alone. So you're going to get people that tell you, you can't do this, or this don't work. And the reason why they're going to tell you is because they don't know how to make it work. So keep that in mind when you get in this business. That there's going to be a lot of naysayers out there that's going to tell you, you can't do that. Remember that. What is the biggest challenge? And this is where you're going to have to get up again, because I want to make sure I attack your issues. What is the biggest challenge you are having right now that's standing right there in front of you that's not allowing you to knock down that wall? Anyone? Ron first.
Leads. Lead generation for me is very tough. Young letter campaigns we've been doing. We've been trying to get our funnel set up through online distribution, but leads are a tough one for us.
Anyone else?
Well, again, for me, it's been about time building up.
Mic up.
Reaching out to other people that are in this industry. I have a lot of strong a lot of different areas. I need to get to people, talk to me, what I do.
So would that be, gotcha, team building. Anyone else? Biggest issue you're having for success?
Mine is analyst paralysis.
Right. Got you. Paralysis analysis. Anyone else? Biggest issue you're having right now that's standing, that is blocking you, that is causing you not to be successful. If you can recognize, or if you have recognized it, anyone. That's a good one. Now, let's drill down even further. Fear of what? There you go. You get the key word, because most people can understand the fear of failure, but very few people understand the fear of success. Who else?
Sometimes it's motivation. You know, it's stuff like Charles was talking about.
Okay. Staying focused, staying motivated, staying on point. Is that what the heck? I hear the back. Okay. Anyone else? Let's go with Tamara first, and we'll go through.
Poor time management.
I'm sorry, say it again?
Poor time management.
Poor time management. Now let's go with you, and then we'll go with Danny. Go ahead.
I was going to say fear, and I was going to say time.
Okay. We've got those two covered. Danny? Okay. Did we miss anyone? Fear. It still falls on me, fear. Absolutely. Got you. Anthony? Right. How to fit the business around the JOB. Got you. Yes. Funding. Great point. Financing, funding.
It's similar to the analysis paralysis, but I find that I do a lot of research.
You're looking for the perfect answer. Did we miss anything? Yes. Okay, so you would call that maybe a lack of education or lack of skill or right. Systems, tools, and resources for success. Yeah. Okay. Excellent. And no, that's all right. That's good. We got a good foundation to work with. And I'm gonna tackle each one of these one at a time. Let's first start off with the lack of skills. We all very much aware of the fact that normally, and Kenneth mentioned this earlier, and I feel this is the exact same way. The knowledge I have in my head, I can take it anywhere and make money in real estate investing, because that's knowledge that I will never lose unless I have some type of debilitating accident or something that would mess my memory up, mess my brain up, and so on. The only way to accomplish, or should I say to solve the problem for lack of skills, lack of knowledge, lack of information, is to what? Research is part of the answer, but research what? You have to research in regards to the pathway to success. Because I can research how to do this because the internet gives me 550 ways in order to do something. But is that the right way? That's a waste of time. So the first aspect of understanding the lack of skills is understanding exactly what skills you need to do in order to be successful based on proven strategies of success. You don't study any and everything. You're studying what's working. That's the first step. Well, how do I know what to study that's working, Charles? It begins with your network. The people in your business, the people in your industry that are successful. Networking, contacting them, and reaching out to them. I'll tell you right now, 80% of the people in this room that's going to be the most successful are the ones that's not going to understand the word no. Because they're the ones that's going to push past the word no. They're the one that's going to reach out and try to find out if they can find a deal for Ray, or try to see if they can do something with Ron, or try to contact Rose back there to see if she can help them find deals. They're the people that's going to reach out and use the resources here based on their methods or their desires for success. There's a fact in this business, this industry that I am in. I'm an internet marketer. I work with a lot of different companies doing marketing for them. And when I work with the gurus, because I talk about the gurus, but a lot of the gurus come to me for marketing. And one sad fact about this business is that the gurus, their main method for giving you guys so much information is because they know you won't use it. Why? Because 80% of their income is generated from 20% of the people that are doing it. It's the classic 80-20 rule. We have to break that cycle. And how do you break that cycle? You break that cycle by associating yourself with people that are actually doing it and stop, for lack of a better word, trying to find the latest and greatest tool. Because a black pen is just as good as a red, both of them right. You don't need three of them to do the same job. So the first thing I want you to do, find the individuals that are doing what you want to do and mirror and walk in their footsteps. Success leaves footprints. I don't care if it's not me. I don't care if it's Clifton. I don't care if it's Ray, if it's Rose. Network and get with these people and say, what are you doing to be successful? I know you're wholesaling. Ron, I know you're doing deals. What are you doing? What have you done recently? I like to bring up Brittany because Brittany is a great inspiration for a lot of mothers out here. This young lady has just taken it to a whole different level. And she was going to be here today, but she had some other deals to work on. So that's why she's not here today. But what I love about her is the fact that she had an obstacle in front of her. And that obstacle in front of her was the fact that she was a stay-at-home mom that just could not make it happen. But she devoted 6 months in educating herself on optimization and website and marketing. And then 12 months later, she started getting 5, 7, 8 deals a month. Now she's up to $30,000 a month in the last 3 months, just flipping wholesale deals. I'm sorry, say that again? Yeah, search engine optimization. And we can go further into that as well. So, my first lesson for today, choose the strategy that makes sense for you based on what you want real estate investing to do for you. If you need immediate wealth, immediate income, money next week, next month, you need to be bird dogging and wholesaling. If that's your need. If you're looking for generational wealth, a legacy to leave behind, and you have the wherewithal, meaning the ability to do this strategy with knowledge, you want landlording. If you want large lumps of income periodically, namely 120 days later, down the road, you want rehabbing. And if you want quick hits to help sustain you until you get to where the other strategies will allow you to be, you're going to want tenant placement, you're going to want lease options or link optioning, and you're going to want guaranteed rent, as well as wholesaling or bird dogging. Those strategies will take you to where you need to be, but you have to place yourself in the best environment for success for you. Because if you want to make $40,000 in the next 90 days, the opportunity for you to do that is going to be two different ways. One, you could average 5 wholesale deals in 1 month, $10,000 a deal for 4 months, $40,000, or 1 rehab, fix up, sell in 90 days time, $40,000. You have to base that on your skill set and your ability to do it. The easiest strategies in real estate investing to do is bird dogging and wholesaling. So I would easily tell each and every one of you, start off with the easy stuff, unless you already have a team in place for the hard stuff. Because I've seen so many of you get burnt trying to do rehab as the first strategy. What should you have in place? If you want to be a rehabber, have a contractor that you're very comfortable with, very much know, and very much is going to be a part of your team throughout the processor. Have an agent that you want to work with, that you know that you've worked with before, that you know is going to be a part of your team. Have a title company in place that you're going to be working with to do the actual sales. And have someone in place for your financing before you even step into a rehab contract. This should be in place. Wholesalers, bird doggers, have title companies in place ready for you to take the leads to when you're ready to close. Have buyers lined up or ability to joint venture with other wholesalers, because you don't have to have your own buyers list. You can use what's called OBL, other people's buyers lists. So forget that whole guru crap about you need a buyer's list. No, you just need to know where you can go to get someone who has one. Brittany Bowling, the young lady I'm talking about, she has no buyer's list. The $30,000 a month she's making, she's joint venturing with a wholesaler who's selling deals. So if she wanted to do it herself and make her own buyer's list, that's $60,000 a month she could be making. But she takes the same mindset that I have. Something is better than nothing. So give the deal to someone else, because she has a family. She has children that she's staying at home to raise. So she will get the lead, and she'll pass that lead over to that joint venture investor, who will then sell the property, and they split the profit 50-50. You don't need a buyer's list. You just need to know how you can leverage what resources you have out there, what resources you have in this room, and what resources the Real Deal Meetup will give you. I am a buyer, and I'm looking for deals. Nate is a buyer, and we're looking for deals. And we market with our buyer's list. I will partner with you all day long. How many of you guys in this room will partner with someone who have a deal and with a buyer's list? Thank you. Success is in this room. So let's go back with the foundation. Wholesalers, you need a power team. Your power team, a contractor, until you're able to understand how to estimate the cost of repairs. You need someone on your team that can give you that number. Title company, you need someone who can walk that deal through closing that is on your side so that you don't have to worry about being bamboozled out of your money. These are key elements to your success. And these are elements that should be in place already. And last but not least, either a buyer's list or JV partners you can call to sell your wholesale deals for you. Joint venture. Great question. I should have said that. Now, where does this fit into the whole scheme of things? I've just basically given you the map for setting up your bird dogging and your wholesaling. What's the difference between the two? A lot of people ask that. Well, simply put, a bird dogger is someone that just passes the information on. A wholesaler is someone that gets the information under contract. So if your desire is to be a bird dogger, all you're doing is sending me information. Charles, there's this property over here that my neighbor told me about that could be a good deal. I, in return, will tell that person, I will look into it. I will try to get under contract. If I get it under contract, I'll be happy to give you $1,000 or $1,500 for the information. That's a bird dogger. A wholesaler is the person who grabs that information, contacts the seller of that property, and then gets it under contract. You have to decide, is these two business models best for me? Your biggest key points to these business models is the fact that you have to either, one, pass on the information, or two, be able to negotiate the information. And that's the key to wholesaling, guys. The most successful person in this room will be the person that can negotiate the deal, because that's where the numbers are at. There's three places on a deal where you make money. You make money when you put the property under contract. You make money on the monthly revenue of the property. And you make money when you sell the property. It's up to you to control all three levels of success to make the biggest profit. If you're only controlling one, you're leaving a lot of money on the table. If you're controlling two, you're happy. If you're controlling three, you're going to Miami Beach. But if you're controlling three, you're making huge profits. Because that's how every deal is structured that way. 3 areas of success, front, middle, and end. Control all 3, the biggest profits will be made. Title company. I'm going to give you some of my resources. There's 2 title companies I use. One of which is the Laney Valley Title. And the second which is Crown Title. Now the reason why I like these title companies is due to the fact that they are very investor friendly. Especially Crown Title. And this is an advanced subject, and I'm not going to go too much involved in it. Crown Title, we do a lot of different trusts with them. When we're talking about buying properties in trust and so on. But Delaney and Crown will do wholesale deals. They will do double closings. They will do assignment deals. This is the wholesaler's main bread and butter for their business. Now, are they the only 2 you should work with? Absolutely not. And just like anyone that would get in front of this room, I would tell you the exact same thing. Take my recommendation with a grain of salt until you do your own due diligence. Because everything that's told to you has to be verified. So due diligence is the key. I created a sheet called How to Interview Your Power Team. For all of you guys, if you drop me an email, Charles@realdealmeetup.com, I will send you that questionnaire that you can use to ask all the people that's in your power team so that you can interview them and put them on your team. The power team questionnaire covers how do you talk to your title companies, what questions you ask before you work with them. How do you pick and choose or hire a contractor, what question you ask before you work with them. How to choose an attorney to work with, how to choose a CPA to work with, and so on. That's in the Power Team interview sheet that I'll give to each and every last one of you. Just drop me an email, charles@realdealmeetup.com. In fact, I'm going to give you guys a lot of bonuses today. Just put in the subject line, send me my bonuses, Mad Scientist. And I'll send them all to you guys. Actually, my VAs will, but that's another story. Now, we're at the point where we've decided for that person that wants quick hits of income, wholesaling is the key. Bird dogging is the key. You have to realize there's two ways in which you're going to see success in this building. There's what's called the throw it against the wall and see what works approach, which we like to call shotgun marketing. And there's the targeted approach. And what's the difference between the two? It's based on revenue. So in other words, how much money do you have to invest in the success of your business? A fact. Wholesalers, bird doggers, if you do not have a lot of money to do marketing, it will take you longer on average to do your first deal. I was in your place when I first started in this business. It took me 1 year to get my first deal. Everything I was doing was based on gunslinging, grunt work marketing, guerrilla marketing. But if you have revenue to do targeted marketing campaigns, that ability to do that first deal can be easily overcome. Because money to do marketing is the equalizer to success. You can be successful as a wholesaler, as a bird dogger, with very little money. But the reality of the business is it will take you more of your time to make it happen. Because I will be giving you marketing strategies that require your time, as opposed to putting together marketing strategies that you can throw money at to achieve success faster. You have to decide what business model works best on your financial goals. The question I get asked a lot of times, well, Charles, how much money do I need to market? And I'm going to say, well, it depends. How much success do you want? I use a metric that has been working very well for me over the last 5 years. And that's for every 1,000 mail pieces, if we're talking about direct mail. For every 1,000 mail pieces, I'm expecting between 1 and 3.5 deals. For every 1,000 pieces of envelope or mail that I'm sending out, direct mail. 1 to 3.5 deals. So you may say, well, Charles, I'm only going to do 300 this month. Understand that. But the numbers don't lie. Could you get a deal with 300 mail pieces? You absolutely could. But it's not going to be the average situation. The average situation for me and for the people that I've worked with have been 1.5 to 3 deals, 3.5 deals for every 1,000 pieces. That's a hard fact in this business, and I want you to understand it. I don't want you to walk around here hoping and praying that you're going to get a deal because you sent out 50 letters. I'll take a couple questions. Yep. I'm going to go into further with details with that. Another question? I'm going to answer that one. I saw somebody had their hand up. Go ahead. I'm going to answer hers first because hers will get you in jail. Actually, it won't get you in jail. But I've pushed my students away from doing them. But I do have some that still do them. But I always tell you, in Maryland, right now, the sign police are no joke. They will write you up $500 fines for every sign that you leave up that has your telephone number when they catch you doing it. I know people that have gotten fined $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $7,000 for putting up bandit signs. So I don't teach my students to do bandit signs. But I know some that still do, and some that are getting good returns from them as well. They just haven't gotten caught yet.
When you say you leave them up, is there a...
Now you want me to tell you how to illegally do bandit signs? You want me to tell you how to illegally do bandit signs so that when you get locked up, you can say, Charles told me to do it. Because this is the way you get around getting caught. There is a way to get around from getting caught. But I'm not going to teach you how to get around from getting caught. Hold on. Let's put it like this. I'm gonna give you some things to watch out for. One, stay away from trackable numbers, meaning your own personal cell number or your own home number. Whenever possible, use what's called a track phone or a virtual phone number. And what I mean by that, track phones are phones that you can buy at a 7-Eleven or whatever, and they'll give you a phone number with them. But when you buy it, don't buy it in your own name. Buy it in Ray's name or somebody else's name. Don't buy it in your own name. Because the way, and this is what I've talked to all the people I know who've gotten caught. The way they've gotten caught is when the sign police call them up. We have a tendency of wanting to brag. Yeah, we're doing 10 houses a month. We're at Michael J's We Buy Houses. And I live right here off of Jacksonville Street, and I'm just telling you, I will buy your house. What was your address where you live at? Okay. Now, could we meet? And they've actually met them at properties. Could we meet and see exactly how you like my property? Yeah, I'll be happy to come meet with you because I'm Michael J. and I work here at MikeJWeBuyHouses.com. Next thing you know, when you get there, you got a citation waiting for you telling you you got 24 hours to remove every sign that's up. If they're not removed within 24 hours, you'll be fined $500 to $1,000 per sign. Per sign.
So they always give you 24 hours?
No. No. Now, that's how they catch you. Now, how do you get around? I can't believe I'm having this conversation with you guys. How do you get around you not meeting somebody at their house to buy it? You can't. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. You can do that. You can do that. Because we're in the business to meeting sellers. So it's a roll of the dice when you do bandit signs. So be very careful when doing them, because the thing that gets the person in the position where they're writing a check for $3,000 and $4,000 is the fact that now they just did not listen to their gut. Because most of the time when you work with a lot of sellers, and you won't have this when you first started, but when you work with a lot of sellers, you can tell when somebody just isn't right. The conversation just isn't going the way a normal conversation would go. And then you will push off. But when you're new, you don't have that luxury of experience. So my advice is stay away from bandit signs right now. Do them, and I'm not sure about D.C. D.C. have any issues with them?
Yeah.
Big issues like in Baltimore?
Not as bad as Baltimore.
Okay, nothing is as bad as Baltimore.
I see a lot of other kinds of signs.
Oh, yeah.
We'll do the carpet, you know what I mean?
Yeah. That's big.
People don't get harassed.
Yep.
Well, I can't say whether or not they do or don't get harassed because I haven't installed carpet in years. But what I do know is we get harassed. And my defense can't be, you didn't harass them, why are you harassing me? Because all I'm concerned with is my business success. So they may, but I just know that we are on the radar. We are the scum of the earth. We are the ones taking advantage of homeowners. We are the ones that's caused the crash in 2008. We did it. We did it. We did it. And that's what the media has sold everyone out there about this industry. And that's what we have to deal with each and every day. For the newbie, a bandit sign is nothing more than a We Buy Houses yellow sign, black sign, whatever color sign you want it to be. We Buy Houses, give us a call at 410-367-2424. That's a bandit sign. When you see a sign on a pole or you see a sign on a grass put down with stakes, that's a bandit sign. So stay away from bandit signs.
Well, one of the things I'm kind of like concerned about, I wish I came in much earlier before I purchased bandit signs, but now it's just the way that I'm marketing for me. I got all these bandit signs with stakes in my house, and now I'm like,
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, they make great frisbees. My son loves bandit signs. No. Great question. Are the signs enforcers out on the weekends? Yes and no. For the most part, they're not. Because here's what most people do. They put them down on Friday and they remove them on Sunday nights. Now, will that give you some type of longevity? Absolutely, it will. But you're just rolling the dice. Rolling the dice. And do you want to roll the dice for $500 per sign when it's a strategy that you don't have to use? Why are you doing that? Here's the key with what I call bandit signs. Bandit signs is what's called a guerrilla marketing strategy. Why? Because it's not specifically targeted to a market for success. It's specifically targeted to a whole area or a zip code, and we're saying, I hope someone calls me from this zip code where my sign is at so I can get a deal. That's the whole definition of guerrilla marketing. I hope I can find a deal if I put enough up. That's not a recipe for your business to have constant growth of success. But guerrilla marketing, it can be an easy way to get into business when you don't have money. One marketing strategy you can do is guerrilla marketing. Craigslist. Craigslist postings. One of my mastermind students, Brent Tatum, made $42,000 from calling a Craigslist post off of Craigslist. All he did was have the post go to his mailbox. There's an actual part of Craigslist that will allow you to do what's called an RSS feed. An RSS feed will tell Craigslist anytime somebody posts in Craigslist, motivated seller, sell my house fast, owner financing, to send that post to my email address. So when new post comes up with actual keywords that he looked for, this actual post came up, and he contacted the owner and wholesale that deal. Craigslist is a great guerrilla marketing strategy, but it's only one strategy. I'm going to jump a little bit. You guys should be doing between 3 to 5 different marketing strategies per month. No less than 3 per month. Each and every month. I had a question. Ron. IFTTT is called If This Then That. This is a techie tool. So put this underneath your techie radar. The website is IFTT.com?
IFTTT.com.
Yes, IFTTT.com. It means if this, then that. What it does is this. It creates what's called recipes. A recipe is an app or program that controls the actual process of something to happen. One of the recipes is when I get a post from Craigslist with these words in it, send it to my email address. Here's another one. When I get a post from Craigslist, send me a text message. When I get a post from Craigslist, send it to my VA.
Yes.
3 T's. In fact, let's pull it up. That's it right there. And it has so many different attributes. We talked about this at recent mastermind meetings and so on, about this tool that you could use to what we call automate your process. And we'll go further into automation when we go through this whole day. Going back with your question, I totally forgot it by now. And what was that? Right. Right. Now, here's how we do marketing. Rose, where you going? Oh, okay. Here's how we do marketing, guys. You try to sneak out on me. Me and Rose got history. It's not good, but we got history.
Damn.
I was just joking with her. Targeted marketing is the key to what we do online. Everything we do must be at least 2 or 3 levels deep. And what I mean by that, if I'm going to send out to absentee owners, I'd rather send out to absentee owners that have a certain zip code, that have equity in their property, and that have high debt-to-income ratio. That's a 4-level deep campaign. Why? Because I know that person has equity. I know that person is an absentee owner. I know that person is in the neighborhood that I want to invest in. I know that person is in a debt issue situation with their credit card bills. And then I will mail out to that person all day long. That's a targeted marketing strategy. As opposed to I'm going to buy an absentee owner list and start mailing. No. It can give you results. And the best reason to do that is when you're short on cash. So if your cash is short, then your target is going to be long, meaning a wider net. But if you have more cash, you're able to do more targeting. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean you need cash to do targeting. No. Example, when you're marketing landlords, you go down to the courthouse, you pull eviction notices of landlords that are evicting tenants out of their property, and you contact these landlords to see if they're interested in selling their property. This type of deal is great for the buy and hold investor as well as the tenant placement company. For all you tenant placement people out there, you can get a boatload of leads doing tenant placement by going after eviction filings.
But once you do that part, how do you get the actual property?
Now you're talking about how do you negotiate the deal.
Right.
Right. We'll go a little bit further into that, but that's going to take more than one conversation, but I'm more than welcome and ready to have it with you. Okay. Don't call me too much now. Just joking. No, just joking. Just joking.
So Charles, that 4-level deep target marketing, is that something that alistsource.com will do for us?
Great question. Charles, you're telling us all these great strategies with targeted lists, but how do we find them? The company that will allow you to do a 4-level deep strategy is something that's called SRDS. It's called Standard Rate and Data Service. That's the website, srds.com. Data Service. Now, what is SRDS? It's the clearinghouse of all mail houses all around the country. Any type of list you want, you can find it on this site. Yes. Now, why do I like that site? Because like I said, I want to drill down. When you drill down, your profits soar. We talked about absentee owners from people that have equity in their properties, people in a specific zip code, people that are going through eviction, landlords that are going through eviction. I go after those by way of contacting them, calling them. If you are uncomfortable calling a landlord and having that landlord pick up the phone, all you have to do is just use slide dial to call them. Slide dial, SLYDIAL. Slide dial. Now, what is slide dial? Now, this is if you're uncomfortable with making a cold call. Slide dial is a service that will allow you to call someone and the phone call will go straight to their voicemail. Their phone won't even ring. So you can leave a message. Hey, John, I saw that you're evicting a tenant on Mosier Street. I got a tenant placement company. I would love to talk to you about my services if you're interested. Give me a call. That person calls you back. Now you have somebody that heard your message and is interested in talking to you. As opposed to you calling a person and they pick up the phone and you, I just want to let you know, I got tenant placement company. You don't want that. So if you are that person afraid that that's just a little bit fear, let the technology do the work for you. Leave a pre-recorded message, a speech that you practiced 500 times, and now you're sounding like Barry White. Hey, I just got a message, so just want to let you know. If you want to sell your property, give me a call. You know, now that breaks the whole fear of what do you say. there are other ways of getting them. The key is my business model is built on the best way. Because I could give you 5 or 6 different other ways, but I wouldn't be doing you justice because I want to give you the best way to do them. Does that person have to be you that go to the courthouse? No. OPT, other people time. It could be anyone in this room who works full-time and someone who doesn't work full-time that you partner with and say, let's do this marketing strategy. When the leads come in, we'll split the profit. It doesn't have to be you. The new version of Slide Out, and the question is, would allow you to do a pre-recorded message. The new version of Slide Out will allow you to pre-record a message and blast it out to a telephone list. Right. But I don't like the new version of it because there's still a couple of bugs in it. So yes, that's a great way to get targeted leads. We're talking about targeted leads. That's going to be your biggest money maker in this business. Yes. SRDS, the cost for that is $4.95 per 6 months. Yes. $195 for 6 months of use. Unlimited list. Now, I just want to clarify exactly what SRDS is. SRDS is a list brokerage service that's the directory of all the list brokers in the United States. So what you would use that company for is to find targeted lists like what I just mentioned. If Maryland wasn't so screwed with the foreclosure law, I could go into SRDS and find lists of homeowners that's 60 days late on their mortgage, that's 90 days late on their mortgage, that's 240 days late on their mortgage. And they have high credit card debt as well as equity in their property. But because you can't do that in Maryland, you can't do that in D.C. You can't do that in Virginia. So you can use SRDS to find people that's late on their mortgage, that has equity in their property, and have high credit card debt. That's what you can do with SRDS.
Full-level deep strategy.
Yes.
You just gave us one full-level deep.
Strategy absentee owners, correct.
So are there other full-level deep?
There are 3 and 4 level deep marketing strategies that we have a lot of success with. I'll give you another one. Expired listings. Real estate that have a withdrawn or an expired listing that's at least 90 days old, where the person has equity in their property. That's in the targeted zip code we want to invest in. Marketing tip number 2. Only invest where the buyers are buying and the sellers are selling. How do you find that? Real estate agents has access to Meris. And Meris, you can tell your real estate agent, and Rose, could I come to you and say, Rose, could you tell me the top 10 zip codes where investors are buying properties for all cash, and the top 10 zip codes where homeowners are buying properties?
Yes.
Could I get that from you, Rose?
No.
Keep on playing, all right? So the answer to that question is yes. Think about what I just said. The top 10 zip codes where investors are buying properties with all cash. Now, what do I have there on the subset? Not only do I have areas, but what else do I have? Exactly. All you have to do is reverse engineer, find the properties, go into MD land records, and now I can pull up the exact addresses of the actual owners who actually bought these properties with all cash, and add them to my buyers list by doing a direct mail marketing campaign. So you've not only identified where the buyers, the investors are buying, but you've also identified who they are. But what are you data mining?
Specifically, so I think if you look at the owners and the in the area, you want to know, hey, can I do a Facebook campaign?
Well, I'll tell you how we've done it, the Facebook campaign. One of the companies that we work with has a property management company and actually a for sale by owner company in Ohio, Flex Realty, and My Way Home Finder. And what we've done on a Facebook campaign for them was they needed actual renters who could afford to buy in this particular zip code. So what we did was create a Facebook ad campaign for the particular areas and zip codes in Ohio that they have these properties for sale. And the key is that we targeted only apartment-owned renters in a particular cash, or should I say a particular rent row. Meaning, these people are renting from this apartment building who we identified that had about $1,900 a month rent they had to pay. So all it did was we targeted everybody in Ohio in this particular zip code that lived in these apartment buildings to see our ad about how they can buy their first home. And every time they went on Facebook, they saw our ad about stop renting, own your first home. Going after apartment dwellers. So yes, you can do it by way of a zip code, by way of a targeted lead source. And the investor side, I can go after private lenders. What is a good company that serves private lenders? Anybody know any IRA companies?
Yeah, Jack Kylie.
Say that?
Jack Kylie.
Okay, that's an IRA company?
Yeah.
Was it an IRA investor?
IRA investor.
IRA company, equity trusts, self-directed IRAs. I can go to their website. Now, who's looking at our equity trusts? People that are looking to do self-directed IRAs. People that are looking to invest in their IRAs. Private lenders. I can go to Equity Trust Facebook page and pull off all the people that like Equity Trust and target them with my real estate deals. It's part of the system. Facebook allows you to do it. You're about to ask me, can you get in trouble with that? No. Let me tell you something. Facebook is like Jesus. Woo! I'm going to tell you. Mark Zuckerberg, he's got so much information on you guys, it's a shame. And he makes it available to anyone who wants to advertise using Facebook. I can go and find people on Facebook that own a house that spends $60,000 a year online and targeting them with online stuff for them to buy based on their spending habits. Insights, graph, and demographic section of Facebook ads. Now,